You've been lied to, not with words, but with silence. Every day you wake up, go to work, get paid, and somehow it's never enough. You're not lazy. You're not reckless. You're just stuck. And you blame yourself. But what if I told you the problem isn't you? What if the entire system was designed from the ground up to keep you exactly where you are? Before we go any further, drop a comment below. Tell me where you're watching from. I want to see how far this truth has spread, because what I'm about to show you isn't taught in schools. It's not in textbooks, and the people who benefit most from your ignorance, they're the ones holding the pen. Let's start with a simple question. What is money? Most people say it's currency, a tool for trade, a store of value. But here's the truth they don't tell you. Money isn't real. It's not backed by gold. It's not tied to anything physical. It's a story we all agreed to believe. And the moment that belief cracks, the entire thing collapses. Think about it. The dollar in your pocket has value because we say it does, because the government says it does, because everyone around you agrees to pretend it does. But strip away that agreement, it's just paper, just code on a screen. And someone, a long time ago, figured out that if they could control the story, if they could control trust itself, they could control everything. So they built a machine, a system so complex, so layered, that most people never even think to question it. And if you're struggling, if you're broke, anxious, drowning in bills, you assume it's your fault. That's not a mistake. That's the design. Here's how it works. You deposit $1,000 into a bank. You think it's safe. You think it's sitting there waiting for you, but it's not. The bank takes that $1,000 and lends it out. Maybe $900 of it, maybe more. They're not lending your money. They're creating new money. Digital entries, numbers on a screen. This is called fractional reserve banking, and it's the backbone of the modern economy. But here's where it gets insane. When the bank makes that loan, they charge interest, let's say 5%. So now the borrower has to pay back $900 plus $45. But where does that extra $45 come from? It doesn't exist yet. The only way it can exist is if someone else borrows more money, and then they owe interest, and then someone else borrows, and then someone else. The system requires perpetual debt to function. It's not broken. It's working exactly as intended. Every dollar you earn, every number in your account, most of it only exists because someone, somewhere, is paying interest on a loan. If they stop, that money disappears, and you're left holding the bag. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but I don't have to play this game. I could just avoid debt, live simply, stay free. And sure, technically you could, but the system spent centuries making sure you won't. It starts young. You're told that success looks a certain way: a house, a car, the right clothes, the right phone, the right image. You didn't invent these desires. They were installed in you through ads, through social media, through everyone around you playing the same game. And here's the genius part. The system lets you have all of it before you can afford it. That's what credit is. It's not freedom. It's a preview of the life you'll spend the next 20 years paying for. You get to feel rich today, and you pay for it in silence, in stress, in decades of your life. And while you're paying, you can't take risks. You can't quit the job you hate. You can't start over. You're not imprisoned. You're anchored. The people who designed this system understood human psychology better than you do. They knew that people with debt are predictable, controllable, safe. So they made debt feel normal. They made it feel like success. And when you fail, when the payments crush you, You don't blame the system, you blame yourself. Now, let me show you the secret. The wealthy use the same system you do, the same banks, the same loans. But they use them differently. When you borrow money, you borrow to consume a car, a vacation, a bigger TV. Your debt goes up. Your assets stay the same. When a wealthy person borrows money, they borrow to invest. Real estate, a business, stocks. Their debt goes up, but their assets go up faster. And here's the kicker. The interest they pay? Often tax deductible. While you're paying with money that's already been taxed, they're using the system to multiply their wealth. Same tool, different outcome. And over time, compound interest becomes the most powerful force in finance on their side. If you invest $10,000 at 10% annual return for 40 years, you'd have over $450,000. But here's the problem. You need money first to invest. And the system keeps you too busy paying off debt to ever get there. By the time most people start building wealth, they're in their 50s, right when they need to prepare for retirement. The math was never in your favor. So what now? I'm not going to lie to you and say you can escape this system entirely. You can't. But you can stop playing it the way it wants you to. You can decide you don't need to signal wealth you don't have. You can decide you don't need to consume what you can't afford. You can start asking, what do I actually need? What do I actually want? And what was just programmed into me?
You won't become a billionaire, but you might build a life where money serves you instead of the other way around.
And that's not nothing. That's everything. If this opened your eyes, hit that like button. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Comment below and tell me what you've learned so far. And if you want more videos that expose the system shaping your life, subscribe and turn on notifications. Because the more you know, the better your chances of winning a game you never knew you were playing. Thanks for watching. The truth doesn't set you free, but it gives you a choice.